Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dylan Knows. And I'm going to talk about this wonderful young man. His name is Leon Bridges, a brand new singer who is very refreshing, but I will talk about that in a second. That was his song, Smooth Sailing, to begin my final episode of Dylan Knows until mid-August. I'm taking a 2-week hiatus to go on vacation. We have a Sunday-to-Sunday rental this year. My show's usually on Sundays, and we'll be traveling both days, both Sundays. So the first Sunday we'll be traveling down to the Outer Banks, and the second Sunday we'll be traveling back. And I could do Saturday, but the Saturday before vacation, everybody knows you're getting ready to pack, and you're crazy all over the place, and blah, and so I won't be able to do that. And then the Saturday before we leave, the Wi-Fi down at our beach house is going to suck. It always does, so I'm not going to do a show. So I figure, you know what, give a 2-week hiatus, give me a little bit of breather, give all you a little breather so you have to look at my ugly face. And I forgot to do this. This is what I want to start with because it's my summer show. There we go. Yeah, sunglasses. But I'm very excited. I'm having almost an epiphany today, and we'll get into that also, but I'm mostly excited because I've got my co-host Bronwyn back after a 2-month hiatus. Yay! Hi, Bronwyn. Uh-oh. Oh, I can't hear you, Bronwyn. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Bronwyn? I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Brianne, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yep.
Okay, I can't hear Bronwyn, though. Bronwyn? Okay, Bronwyn's, of course, the day that I get Bronwyn back on the show, she's having an issue. But because Bronwyn is working on something, let's say hi to Brianne. She's returned back also. Hi, Brianne.
Hi, good to be back.
Yeah, I see you're having some computer troubles as well.
that kind of day, I guess.
And I think we got Bronwyn. Bronwyn back? No, I don't have your sound, Bronwyn.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Yay!
That's so weird. So Bronwyn's back, and Brianne's back, and we're all back, and yay!
And technical difficulties.
Which is nothing new.
No.
It was the minute I put the sunglasses on. Maybe they didn't like the sunglasses on. I was trying to get our friend Amy Fergaro on also, but she has other plans. How dare she? So she could not do the show. But I'm going to try to get her back on maybe in August. So, but yeah, so we're all back. This is Dylan Knows International. Because Bronwyn is international. She is from Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, Canada. So what is Dylan Knows International? Well, basically, it's one of my shows. This is I have many shows. I got a show every Sunday with a different topic. This one is international, where we just sit down and talk about whatever the heck we feel like. And I've got some interesting things going on. We've got summer is, technically not halfway through. If you think about it, from June 21st being the first day of summer to now, it's not even halfway through. But technically it is, because, August starts next week, and that's like the last month of the summer, because September, people going back to school, and it starts, the autumn hits in the mid-September, and then in June also it's half spring and half summer, so the actual summer itself is July and August, so we're getting ready to enter August. So I figure, Midsummer, let's take a look and see what we've got going on this summer, because we've got lots of stuff going on, all three of us do, and some interesting things happening. I also have a lot of interesting things that have been percolating in my head that I'm able to finally reveal to the world. And we'll talk about some guilty pleasures as well. So thanks for watching. We've got the Q&A up. If you're watching on Google, please use the Q&A. If you're watching on YouTube, well, you can tweet us. Just use my @Holadill or @ShinyBabyBoy or @LadyOsabri, and we can get in touch with you. So
@ShinyBabyB.
ShinyBabyB, yes, I'm sorry. But let me just ask you, ladies, this. We usually start the show off with rants. Do any of you have any rants today, or that you thought about, or Brianne?
It's too much of a beautiful day.
Yeah. Brianne?
I know. I'm sitting here like I have nothing to rant about. Like, I feel like something's wrong with me.
Well, that's okay. I have one small thing real quick. It's nothing major. It's not about parking. It's about it's about Facebook, actually. Once we got our new phones a while back, I've been able to do a little bit more on Facebook, and so it's been a lot more fun, because the old phones, it was really hard getting onto Facebook. But recently, Facebook has been pissing me off, because they have the top tweets bit, and then they have the current tweet thing.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, my phone defaults to top tweets, and I guess if I go into my regular computer, maybe I can switch it that way, but my phone defaults to top tweets, and that hasn't been a problem until this weekend, where my top tweets don't seem to be refreshing.
Oh.
I post something and then it's there for like 6 hours. It's like, okay, and then I look and I scroll and it's just the same old stuff that was there before. There's nothing new on top of it. It's like, I know there's something new. So you can go into the phone. There's a section where you can go to current tweets and you get all the current tweets there. And so I have to look through that way. So that kind of pisses me off a little bit, that I wish they would figure out a way that I could switch back and forth. So, or at least maybe fix the top tweets algorithm, as it were, to allow it more top tweets, whatever they use for their criteria. So that's my little mini rant. All right. So without further ado, I've been talking a lot. Let's get some talk from our fellow guests. Bronwyn.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the playoffs this summer.
Yes. So this summer, my team, the Birds and Babes, we actually made the playoffs. Yay! Thank you very much. Very exciting. And we have actually made it through the first 2 rounds of playoffs to finals. So we won quarterfinals, and that we had to go to it's a best of 3, and we had to go to game 3 on that one because they were a very, very good team, and it was tight. We won the first game, then lost the second one, so it was kind of a nail biter. And every game was close, so that was good. And then we made it through semifinals in 2, which was awesome. But again, both games were super close. It was really we won the second game by scoring the game winner with 7.6 seconds left on the clock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was very, very intense and very exciting. And so we just played our first game of finals, and it was so close. Like, this is how good the competition is. It was so close that we were tied after regulation periods, and we went into an overtime period. We played the full 16 minutes of the overtime period and went into a second overtime period and played 12 and a half minutes of the second overtime period before we lost.
Oh, wow.
That's okay. We're going to take them next week.
So real quick, for those who don't know, we know because we know you, what sport are you playing?
Fair enough. I am playing ball hockey. And this is not like the gym class floor hockey with the orange ball. It does have the orange ball, but this is on full-sized arenas. So it's ice hockey with no ice.
Oh, sounds good. And so now, are the finals a best of 3 also then? And okay, so is it a weekly thing? So you said you're going to do it next week. So
no, we'll probably play Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, so last week we played Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and basically played 2 games on Thursday. So by Friday, I was sore. And I took a hit into the boards at one point, and I don't even really remember because it's a physical game. It's whatever. It's hockey, right? But I'm bruised all down my left arm, like it's black.
Now, are you on roller skates then, or?
We're running.
Oh, okay, you're running. Okay. That's even more. Wow. That's
even
impressive.
My sweat had sweat. I was dying. One of my teammates was out on an injury by the 3rd period, and so she actually took all the water bottles she could hold and ran out at one of the breaks in the play so that she could try and fill our water bottles because we ran out. We drank all the water on the bench. And it's so hot in those arenas.
So do you play in front of a lot of people also, or?
Yeah, it depends. Certainly by the time we hit provincials, if we win our finals, when we get to provincials, there's quite a lot of attention at that stage. So I don't know, provincials would be like interstate for you guys, I guess, so it would be like all of the big cities from your state would play together. So that's for us, right? So all of the cities in Ontario would come and play.
Ooh,
so
that is impressive too.
Yeah.
Brianne, have you been doing anything interesting this summer?
Besides working on Dr. Brianne.
I swear, like, I feel like I've sold my soul to, like, the graduate school devils. Because that's like all I do. People are like, so what's up in your life? And I'm like, well, I'm working on this review of literature, and then I start speaking like my jargon, and then they look at me like I'm speaking a foreign tongue. I'm like, oh, I did that again, didn't I? Oops. But I guess the most exciting thing I've done so far this summer is well, I guess I hadn't made this like super public, but I was in a long distance relationship, and I didn't really kind of talk about that because I mean it was long distance and I didn't know how that was going to work out, and I was going through a divorce, so I was like, you know, I'm not one of those people that like puts all that stuff out there. Mm-hmm. And so about 3 months ago, my long distance boyfriend moved here to be with me.
Oh yeah.
So he's never done any crazy stuff on the East Coast, so I took him to Amish country.
Ah.
which is hilarious because he's like, so you're like this tattooed punk pierced nerd and you want to go see the Amish. I was like, I love the Amish. So I dragged him around, and when every time a buggy would go by, I was like, stop the car! And he's like, are we going to hit something? I'm like, no, there's a buggy!
That is amazing.
So that's probably the highlight of the summer is dragging poor Danny to Amish country and making him, like, stop at little Amish farm stands and take pictures of the Amish, which you're not supposed to do.
But they're not going to do anything if you do anyway, so...
I love it. We have a sort of Mennonite country around here as well, similar idea. And when you're driving around and you see the buggy coming up the other lane and you get the nod from the driver, I'm always like, yay!
And then the last day we were there, they were waving as like they drove by, and I was like, honey, they're waving at us!
I love it. I don't know why that makes me feel so special, but it totally does.
Someone gets it.
But what's interesting is that I went to school in Reading, Pennsylvania, which is the outskirts of Amish country are around Reading. So my dad likes to take different routes to take me back to school, and there was one that actually took us smack dab through Amish country, and it was a 2-lane highway, and then we get into situations where we're stuck behind the buggy. And that stinks because it's a 2-lane highway, so you can try to go around them, but because there's always cars coming, it's kind of hard to. So they're going like 5-10 miles an hour with the horses trotting, and then you're stuck behind there. And the other thing I like about the Amish is you drive past like a Home Depot or whatever, and you see the horses and the wagons hitched up with next to like automobiles and stuff like that. So, you know, they still go to Home Depot, which is interesting.
They've got their own little like area in Amish country. It's like these big, like the grocery store, there's parking and then there's buggy parking, and that just
like so cool.
I still am very excited about it. He actually came down the auto. I don't have the camera on, but he just came down the hall because he heard me talking about the buggies.
Look, like I drive too much to really, you know, want a buggy. But there is something so freaking cool about them.
Nice, slow, leisurely, trot, you know, comfy.
That's cool.
Nice, especially it's a nice day, you know, you get the nice breeze in the sun. It's like almost driving in a convertible almost.
There you go.
With a horse.
Exactly. And horses are so cute.
Yeah, especially theirs. Theirs are regal and muscular and strong and sleek. It's really cool. So have you guys, besides Amish country, Brianne, and you're working on your doctoral stuff, do you have any other like vacational plans coming up?
We are actually, I'm super excited. So every year I've gone to the Stargate Con because I'm a crazy Stargate fan, as you guys know. And I've always gone, and I've always either gone like the cheap seat, or I've volunteered a lot for a lot of years just because I like volunteering. Can't say no. But we scored gold 4th row like seats to the con and to all the like private parties and stuff.
Ooh.
So we're freaking out.
I'm really excited because I've never actually really thrown down money at a con, and it was kind of they had sold out of the gold, and then somebody couldn't go, and they put it in the fan forum. And I saw it, and I texted Danny at work. I'm like, hey, babe, somebody's like, I can't believe they can't go. They're selling their gold tickets for super cheap. And he had bought them within 10 minutes. It was like, gold. So I get to be like important and go to like the celebrity dessert party. I'm really excited.
Oh my God! Tell me you're gonna bring your Daniel doll.
Oh, yes. Well, you know that last year Michael Shanks molested my Daniel doll. Like
I
molested.
saw the pictures.
Well, of course, I'll bring the Daniel doll. I'll bring the Addie doll.
Excellent, excellent.
Like everybody, they all go with me. They vacation, so and I've got a couple friends.
It's okay. My Black Widow doll is becoming that for me. She even went to Paris without me.
No way!
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. One of my colleagues went to Europe, and she was sort of all over, and they stayed in Belgium and Amsterdam, and then she took my Black Widow doll with her and took pictures of her in front of the Eiffel Tower, and so yeah, my Black Widow doll went. She's my Funko Pop figure, and she went to she went to Paris without me. Jerk.
Aww.
My boy went on vacation without me.
I mean, she is very international, right? So, you know.
Yeah, it works. You know, it'd be even better if you would have taken her or they would have taken her to Russia and had her in front of the, Russian
Kremlin or something.
Exactly. Now, Bronwyn, do you've got any vacation-y plans coming up either, or are you just chilling, or what?
Kind of. It's been sort of a slow summer for vacation things because we've had a kind of a big summer for work stuff. But for the Labor Day long weekend, I am actually New York bound, and I actually get to be at the party for the Talking Comics 200th episode. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, awesome! Very cool.
Yeah, they're doing a live show, and there's going to be a band and all sorts of things. So they're really kind of exploding.
That's one Steve's a part of, right? Steve's part of that one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he does Talking Comics and Talking Games. There's a couple of other shows that are associated with the website as well. So that's talkingcomicbooks.com, and it's awesome.
Damn, 200. I'm behind. I'm really 95 right now.
Yeah, and I mean they're getting quite a lot of downloads on iTunes. They've repeatedly hit the top slot on their in their iTunes category, so that's kind of cool.
And I also saw that Steve nailed that interview. It was the interviews, I should say. He nailed them. Congratulations to Steve.
It's pretty exciting stuff, right? I mean, I was a little bit jealous, I'm not going to lie. I've had a girl crush on Michelle Monaghan since Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. So Steve's like, don't worry, I'll tell her you said hi.
Very cool, very cool. So
yeah, that's pretty neat. And
now,
then I guess
I'm sorry,
October I'm going to New York Comic Con, which is where I met Steve originally. So, Brianne, I can relate to the long distance relationship.
I know you can, and that's, oh my god, because Danny and I met at Stargate Con.
It is amazing. Nerd power, man.
Yeah, I was just set up with Dawn by a mutual friend, that's all, so no long distance there, sorry.
Yeah. But you got very lucky because Dawn is incredible.
Yeah, she's great. Now, Bronwyn, is your Labor Day, it's not the same as ours, is it? Or is
I think so.
It is? Okay. First Monday in September?
Yep.
Okay, so okay, that works. Yeah, it's late this year, which is weird. It's like the 7th.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but that's the quirks of the schedule, I guess. But the reason why I was bringing up vacation and stuff like that is, if you hadn't heard before the show or at the beginning of the show, this is going to be my last episode for 2 weeks. I'll be going on my vacation next Sunday, actually, 1 week from today. Actually, at this time, 7 days from now, I will probably be at the beach. So hopefully not going to be raining, because right now the long distance forecast right now is there's a possibility that there's a tropical thing is starting to form on Thursday to Friday. And by the time it gets up to that area, they're talking more that it's not going to be like a tropical depression, but more of just a heavy rainstorm, but a lot of rain. So hopefully they're still saying it's still ways out, and this is just what they've seen of the fronts are coming and converging. But the weather's so funny that the slightest thing could change, and it could be like absolutely brilliantly sunny and gorgeous. So they just wanted to say, hey, this is a possibility, just to keep it aware. But that was thing. But we're going to Outer Banks. We took a hiatus from the Outer Banks last year because my wife had a huge family reunion. I always go with Dawn's family to the Outer Banks. We rent a house down there because mainly because Dawn has two other sisters, and they both have families, both have two kids, and so all of our kids are all around the same age. So we like
Nice.
to get the cousins together to have them play and spend time with the cousins, because unfortunately Dawn and her sisters, their cousins lived up in like a New York, New Jersey area, so they saw them regularly, but not as regularly as you'd like. So, but they always had they always enjoyed spending time with their cousins. So this past year we were able to get everybody together, including Dawn's cousins who have their own
Nice.
families also, to come down to a beach house. But in order to fit the budget, we moved it up to Virginia Beach, also because the traveling was worse. One of Dawn's cousins lives in Colorado, the other lives in Texas, so flying in is a lot easier to like a Virginia or whatever, and then driving down to Virginia Beach or into DC and driving down is a lot easier than driving from Colorado or Texas
Yeah.
over there. So, and then they had their own kids too. So we had, let me see, we had 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had 11 children
Uh-huh.
between the ages of 5 and 9.
Oh my goodness. Uh-huh.
We survived. It was a lot of fun though, but we needed to have a nice sized house, and so we and to fit our budget, so we had a beachfront house, good sized house, fit everybody. It was great fun. It was a lot of fun. So this year we're going back to the way it is. It's just going to be Dawn and her sisters and their family, but they all got spoiled by the beachfront, so we were looking for beachfront this year. We got a nice beachfront house this year, so very excited for that. So anything else exciting going on with you guys during the summer? Just that stuff, been busy, playoffs,
Yeah.
doctorate stuff.
We had a giant audit. It was very exciting.
The reason why I said is because we've been doing a lot more going out with the kids, because my son Noah is in Boy Scouts, and they have well, technically he's kind of a participant Boy Scout right now, Cub Scout right now, because he's not old enough yet. He's gonna be old enough August 25th. But they have a program where you can go to pack meetings, and you'll eventually be brought into the pack when you're old enough, and you can do all the events, stuff like that, and do everything normal. So we've been doing that with him, and in order to get a specific badge for this, like a summer badge, they had to do like they have this list of things, and they had to do at least 6 of them to get the badge. So we said, okay, let's just see what they are, and stuff like visit a museum, go to a ball game, ride mass transit, go to the firehouse, just visit, stuff like that. So we've been trying to cover that. So we've been doing a lot of traveling. We went to the Baltimore Museum of Art, which I haven't been to in years, and
Nice.
that was interesting. If you guys ever, and I was talking about this when we went a couple weeks ago. If you guys ever make it down to Baltimore, and Brianne, actually, this might be a good trip you might want to take. The Gem Museum is fantastic. It's my former boss, Steve Jeppy, who owns Diamond Comics, the only distributor of comics in the world. He also has a personal collection of comic books and memorabilia and stuff like that, and he has so much, and he's accumulated so much, that he wanted to share it with everybody. So he created the Gem Museum, which is it's a small museum. It's only about 1 floor. It's in a building that is shared with our Sports Legends Museum right next to our baseball stadium in Camden Yards, and it's a pop culture museum. The first room, the biggest room you go into, is just bits and pieces of Steve Jeppy's comic collection. He's got actual Spider-Man #1s, Detective 27s, Action Comics #1, all the big, expensive $1 million comics that he's bought over the years. He's got them on display, and he's got a whole bunch of them there. And then he's got pop culture through the centuries, and or rather, I should say through the decades, I should say. And he's got like little things that were popular during like the 1900s, little figurines or advertising like that, all the way up to the 1980s. And then they have like a room kind of with some 90s stuff, but he's just gradually building that up. It's kind of hard to figure out what is considered maybe historical for like the 90s, since it's only like 20 years ago. So, and a really neat gift shop that's got comic books and toys and stuff like that you can buy, and shirts. So it's really just a fun, neat little excursion. So we've done that, and we've done.
I did do museum stuff. this week, there, I guess it was last weekend, I have a friend who's a photographer professionally, and we have all been talking about sort of art appreciation, and we've been talking about doing kind of an art and wine day for like a year and a half. And we finally got this opportunity where the local museum here, the London Museum of Art, had decided to put on summer tours. And they put on a tour of the murals in the city, so a lot of the street art and the graffiti, and which I love. Like, I actually do little tours. If anybody follows me on Instagram, you'll see a lot of street art in my Instagram, because I love to walk around the city and take pictures of pretty things, and so flowers and street art are a big thing for me. And so we get to this mural, and it's funny because the person leading the tour is this little old lady, and she's adorable. She's saying, like, I spent 3 hours on the Google doing some research to make sure I had enough information. I'm like, oh my god, you just said the Google. I love it. But she's giving us this tour, and we're in an alleyway in downtown London, and looking at this beautiful set of murals from about 30 different graffiti artists working on it. And one of them is like, a couple of them actually sell, they're graffiti artists, but they're also sort of traditional artists, and some of their pieces sell for tens of thousands of dollars. And we have this mural in the middle of the city that you can just go up and see. And she's explaining that, you know, this one gentleman got all of these artists together, and he organized this collective called Art Fusion, and did a lot of the murals in the city. And she's like, and his name was Mayhe, but I can't remember his first name. And this voice from behind her says it was Ryan. And she says, oh yeah, yes, that's what it was. It was Ryan Mayhe. And the woman who had said it was like, yeah, because he's right here. And so I guess and his name is actually pronounced May, Ryan May, but it's spelled M-A-H-Y. But he had read in the paper that they were going to do this tour, and he wanted to see what they were going to say about his work, right? Because it's a museum. And so he actually kind of co-opted the tour and told us all about, like, the political environment in which these were created, and you know, talking into bylaw officers about, you know, graffiti versus street art, and what's commissioned and what's not commissioned, and going through the whole you know, tagging process. And some of these murals are incredible. Like, there's one that cost $25,000 to make.
Ooh.
Yeah, there were 500 cans of spray paint just for blue. And the blue isn't even the major color on this one particular one. And it's this giant octopus. I'll post a picture of it later. But it's called the Octopus in the Sea Garden. And it's a dedication to a political activist who is against poaching in the ocean. And it's just this incredible thing, and to have the artist who was actually responsible for it be at the tour and describing this thing to us was incredible. It was really cool.
That is very cool. So, Brianne, how much longer do you have on your doctorate?
Well, that's kind of up in the air. My advisor and I have decided to slow things down. I am exactly 1/3 of the way through the credits. And that includes the fact that your dissertation and your externship and all that stuff count as credits. But it's kind of cool. I had my first publication and went to my first conference in March.
Ooh.
Which is in Las Vegas, which was very cool. And so, yeah, I was like, oh darn, I have to go to Vegas. So we've gotten, like, we're kind of at the cusp of some really cool research with my line of research. So my advisor and I have kind of decided to slow down the coursework and start really kind of throwing me into the research. So I'm actually co-teaching a graduate level class in Introduction to Online Curriculum Design in the fall.
Wow.
And doing research on the course as I teach it.
That's cool.
Now, to refresh my memory, Bronwyn, are you a doctor?
No.
Okay.
No, scientist, but no doctor. I don't have her brains.
No, I'm just really good at BSing.
And honestly, like, when I was finished my bachelor, I did an honors bachelor, and I loved it. I loved being in school. It was fantastic. But I needed to get out of the ivory tower because I was starting to get twitchy. The politics in school can be quite intense.
Yeah, it's super crazy. I think that's why I'm so excited that I'm in what I'm in now, because it's so new with the online learning, and there's like literally 12 people in the world that like study what I study, and since there's so few of us, everybody's just so cool. Like
Yeah.
I fangirled over one of them in Vegas, and then she was like, I was like, I've read every article you've written, blah blah blah, and she like jump hugged me, and she goes, oh my gosh, here's my card, call me anytime.
Oh, I love it when nerds unite. It's amazing. I know. I've been thinking about going back and getting my master's, but it's a matter of whether I want to focus on the on the actual science of water analysis or more of the context, because legislation needs to be sort of caught up to what we actually need for making sure that our water is safe to drink, and it needs to stay on top of the science, and it's not really. So, I mean, Ontario has some of the strictest drinking water regulations in the world, so like it's not that the legislation isn't there, it's just that it's not keeping up with the ways that we pollute our environment. So anyway, sorry.
I feel bad because Dawn was going for her master's before we had kids, and she had her own, as you said, there were issues and problems that you have with this type of things as well. And the one main thing was her advisor. She was getting her master's at the University of Maryland, and it was in the food science. It was one of these things that just there's not a lot out there for what she was going for, and she was so close. I mean, I think she was about maybe a year away from finishing it, and her advisor had to leave because I think she either got a better job at University of Wisconsin or something. I'm not exactly sure. This is years ago. Trying to remember. And it was right around the time when Dawn and I started dating when that happened, and she had suggested to Dawn, you know, why don't you come out to Wisconsin? You can be my TA and you can finish up your master's, and you know, we can go from there. And at that point, Dawn was at that crossroads in her career, and as I said, we've been dating for about 9 months, so we've been together for a while, and we took a vacation, a trip away, and she was talking about, you know, all the stuff that was going on because she was upset because she didn't know if her master's was going to be reinstated at Maryland, or that there was going to be someone who's going to take over as her advisor at Maryland, and she wanted to do this, and she put so much work into it, and maybe she should go to Wisconsin, and her work wasn't giving her what she wanted, stuff like that. So I told her point blank, say, I'll go wherever you want to go. If you want to go to Wisconsin, we'll go to Wisconsin. I think that made her feel better. But then just like that, McCormick, the company she works for, she gave her a promotion and gave her a better job, and then her school had like another person come in and do advisory work for what she was working on. But then it's sort of, you know, wedding planning and all this stuff got in the way, and then plus the advisor wasn't quite as good as before, so it just sort of fizzled out a little bit. So she hasn't gone back to it, but she is so close, and she's contemplating it every once in a while, but it's one of those things that if she does, she said now that she would just restart it over again because what she was doing is so in the past now, and she doesn't remember all the stuff and stuff like that, that if she would restart, especially with where her career has taken her, McCormick. So yeah, it's an interesting ways to move on. So let's move on. So Brianne, have you had any I didn't really see, did you watch any of the sci-fi movies this week during our Snark week?
No, because it was terrible. I have not watched anything for fun because I had a paper due. That's my life. I had a paper due Wednesday at midnight. So yeah, and it's another big conference, and it's part of my literature review. So that's all I did, and then I proceeded to have many margaritas since turning.
Atta girl.
It was a really interesting week. Kelly Toole had a great idea where we all have our own little shows. Like I have Dylan Knows, Tony and I do the Snooze, he and Mel do Nurture Support, and Jeans and Bronwyn and Kelly do Bring Out Your Geek, and Mike does his Fireside Chats. He said, you know, since we have like 7 brand new sci-fi movies that they compressed into 1 week, which was dumb, but that's what they should have spread it out through the year, but they decided now we'll compress it to 1 week. Kelly said, why don't we just do like after shows after all the movies? So we did after shows talking about all the movies. So, you know, Saturday they did 2 movies, last Saturday they did 2 movies, and Kelly and I did the Snooze since Tony was on vacation, and then Sunday Kelly did Nurture Support, and then I did Dylan Knows on Monday, and then Wednesday was Fireside Chat for Sharknado, and then last night Bronwyn and Jeans and Kelly did L'Avalantula, which was the last film of the week. And I have to say, I think it was a fairly successful week. We were able to, it was fun getting back the old gang together, how we used to, how we met, basically, doing the snarking, and it was a lot of fun seeing everybody back there again, and then talking to people on the shows and doing our, getting back into like an old school style type of dissertation, as it were, of dissection, maybe is a better word, of the sci-fi movie. So it was a lot of fun, and what was great about it is I lucked out I think of everybody, I kind of lucked out because when Kelly and I were doing the snooze, one of the movies we did was Mega Shark versus Colossus, and the director is Chris Olin Ray, who is a friend of Gerald Webb's, and he was watching our after show, and he tweeted out to us, said, hey, I did Three-Headed Shark Attack, which is going to be on Monday. If you want me on the show, I'll do it. And that was my show, so I was like, yes, of course I'm going to want it. So I got to interview Chris Olin Ray, who basically has been one of the biggest guests I've had on Dylan Knows before, which is great. And it got me thinking that I kind of like doing it. I mean, it was a bad day for me because it was on a Monday, and I had to work, and then on the way back from work, my back tire blew out on the highway.
Oh, no.
So I had to pull off the side, and I didn't have a spare, and I had to call AAA to tow me to Mr. Tire, and then I had to get the new tire on, and it takes a long process. So the tire blew about 5:15, and I didn't get home till 7:45. And at that time, there was 2 movies on Monday. It was Three-Headed Shark Attack from 7 to 9, and then it was Zombie Shark from 9 to 11. And the one I needed to watch, of course, was the 7 to 9 one, and I missed 45 minutes of it. So I was DVRing it, luckily, and so I jumped. When I got home, I ran right for the TV. I gave Dawn like a kiss and just ran and kissed the kids. And I ran in, I turned on the DVR, started watching from the beginning, hoping that it would catch up if I would fast forward through the commercials and stuff like that. And then when it got to be about 8:45, because Chris Olin Ray could only do it right after 9 o'clock. He couldn't do it after 11, which is the plan originally was watch both movies and then interview them, but he couldn't do that. So we were going to do it right after Three-Headed Shark Attack. So when 8:45 rolled around, I was still about 15 minutes behind. It's like, there's no way I'm going to catch up. So I just fast forwarded to where they were at the end and then watched the end. So I missed about a 15-minute chunk of the movie.
Oh no.
and then during it, I was trying to write questions and stuff like that. So I was all flabbergasted and sweaty because it was like 97 degrees that day, so it was miserable. I had a rough day at work, and I had the tire problem. I got up late in the morning, so it was just a bad day. But in the end, I did 35 minutes with him, and I thought I did pretty good. So
yay! Well, Kelly said it was great. He recommended it on the show last night. So.
Oh, yeah, it was good. It was a fun movie, and Chris Olin Ray, he's done a bunch of other films also, and it was really good. So it got me thinking that down the line I might do more interview style shows with some of these stars, because Jim Gaglione, who's one of our Snark Alec friends, he had been in touch with the actress who played Brigitte in Zombie Shark.
Nice.
And she's had an interest in maybe doing a show with either the Snooze with me and Tony, or doing something like that, because Jim was telling him about our shows. So there's a possibility for that, to interview that. And then there's a few other things as well. It's like there are ways you can go about finding these people and asking them for interviews, and I'm going to try to go about it that way. And I'm going to say this right now, I'm crossing my fingers about this. I got to do research, and I'm not hopeful about this, but my 100th episode is coming up. It'll be in mid-September, and my plan is to get a sit-down interview with Felicia Day, who is the internet queen, and I've been doing some research on that. There's actually a email I can contact her people about. It's not a fan mail. It says if this is a fan email, it will be deleted or junked or whatever. It says this is only for interview stuff or whatever like that. So I'm going to write a professional letter, saying, hi, my name's Dylan. She's one of the reasons why I got into YouTube, stuff like that, which is absolutely true. And I've got this podcast show. It's getting ready to be its 100th episode. I was just wondering maybe she could come down and sit with me for about an hour or something like that just to chat, because I'm not just I'd ask her about her stuff like that, but I'm also interested about, she was homeschooled. I like to learn about her homeschooling and how that works and all that stuff. So, so that's my goal right now. She's my goal right now for the 100th episode. If that
How
doesn't,
cool is that?
yeah, if it falls through, it falls through. It happens, but you don't know till you try. So, I'm considering maybe adding an interview style show to my already 4 shows that Dylan knows. So that should be a lot of fun. So that's good. So I enjoyed Snark Week. The movies were all actually pretty good in a B movie sort of way. And they were all all good in their own right. If you ever get a chance, Brianne, I highly recommend you check out some of them. They were actually really good.
Yeah, we enjoyed La Valentula last night. It was a hoot.
Oh. Yeah, no, well, that's my plan. I've got, I'm still working on some stuff I'm writing, but I don't go back to classes until August 19th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so, and even when I go back to work August 1st, it's just setting up for my students. So I'm like, I kind of can just watch television in August.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
What in a ham sandwich? Sorry, I'm stuck on Kimmy Schmidt. I love that show.
Oh, I love that show.
Right? Oh my God, I'm going to die. That is so funny.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we talk about it a little bit, because that's technically not a guilty pleasure, but that's one of the things we're going to talk about. Why don't you talk about that show?
Oh yes, so I have this thing where it's not that I don't love to laugh. I don't love comedy. I do love comedy. It's just I have a very low threshold for awkward. I can't handle awkward. It makes me really embarrassed, and it doesn't seem to matter that I know these people aren't real and they're getting paid to be in these situations. If it's embarrassing, I can't. I get twitchy. So I don't typically watch a lot of comedy, especially by myself, because I then get too embarrassed and I lose the funny. But for some reason, Kimmy Schmidt, just that level, the way it's a bit surreal, the way she's so cheerful all of the time. Even though she's been through this horrible kind of experience, I don't know, there's something about her and about this show and the way it's written that just gets past all of my awkward radars and gets right to the funny. Like, there were actual tears of laughter my first run through on this show. I watched the whole thing with Steve when I was visiting him, and I honestly sat on the couch and cried all over him. I laughed so hard. Like, I couldn't even control myself. Like, right even at the beginning credits, and there's one scene where the kid hits the deck, and I'm a terrible person. I would like everyone to know that. I do know that I'm a terrible person, but that kid falling on its face, the way toddlers do when they don't know enough to put their hands up. Like, it breaks me every time. Oh God. And I love the element of the surreal, and I love Tina Fey's writing style, and her coming in as a cameo at the end of the season, just every moment of that was gold.
Have you ever seen that, Brianne?
Oh, absolutely. I see. I'm the same way. I love Tina Fey's style of comedy because it's so great. Because I'm like you. I can't do the awkward comedy, and I hate like the fart slapstick that's like so popular with like that Kevin James and all them. But Tina Fey has this way of writing that surreal awkwardness.
Yep.
Where it's so left field, there's no way in hell it could possibly exist, but you believe her that it does, and then it's hilarious and witty, and it's just, the show is so well written.
Honestly, it's remarkable. It's actually wild how well written it is. It's just, I don't know, it's true. There is a weird willing suspension of disbelief, because all of the stuff that happens in that show, like, it's totally bizarre. It's totally bizarre. Like, right up to and including, like, the TV coming in off the street, and they don't have it hooked up to anything, and it still plays, and they even address it, that just go with it.
Or the crank. She cranks and counts to, what is it? She counts to 10, and she's like, all you have to do is count to 10. Life is getting through counts of 10, and then you get to 10 and you start all over again, and that crank nothing.
Oh my God. And then it's an ongoing joke, because you don't find out till the end what the crank actually does. Like, oh God. Or the iPhone gag. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but I died. Steve started, he put together, he found a GIF for me and he sent it to me because just watching it happen over and over again makes me die. The guy is calling Kimmy on the iPhone. He's telling her, oh, the new iPhone came out, which means that our old ones are going to fall. And then as soon as he says they're going to like fall apart, the iPhone in his hand just disintegrates. I was dying. Just the timing, the comedic timing, but yeah, the element of surreal just really gets me. I love it.
Now, is that a Netflix or is it on like Comedy Central or something?
No, it's Netflix.
Okay. Very cool. I haven't seen it yet, but to be honest, I haven't really been watching anything. I watched the movies and maybe some TV shows here and there, but most of my time is just sitting on the couch going through Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. And reading. I've been rereading the Harry Potter book series this summer also, because I've actually got another show idea, which actually I finally got nailed down. I'm going to be doing a Harry Potter type of podcast for Dylan Knows, where I'm going to be, it's only going to be 7 months, once a month. So we're going to take a look at a novel a month and also the movie. So we're going to compare the both like that. I've got a great co-host and Karen D, who's one of the trio of the Comicosity Hangout. She is also an avid Harry Potter fan, and our first episode will be sometime in September, around mid-September. So we're going to start working on that very soon. So I'm just doing the reread now and do that. Plus, we're planning eventually to get my daughter Noelle to read it, because she's going to be 9 in December, so it's about the right time to get her started on those books, and she's doing really well with her reading. Speaking of my daughter, this is kind of a guilty pleasure a little bit. I've gotten my daughter hooked on, and you mentioned it already, Bronwyn, Funko Pops. She's always been a Disney princess type of fan, and I think about, I don't know, a year or so ago, I guess, we were out shopping, just looking around, and she saw a Little Mermaid Funko Pop, and she wanted it. So I was like, okay, I'll buy it for you. It's great. And then, a couple months later, she saw a Jasmine one she wanted, so I got her Jasmine. And then there's been nothing since then. But then recently, we went to like a Barnes & Noble, whatever, and no, actually, it was a comic book store. That's where this all started. I took them to the comic book store because I wanted to get my comics, and I let them look around while I get my comics, and then I usually get them a comic or whatever they want as well. And they had a comic, but then my daughter's like very quiet. She's like, Daddy, I like a comic, but can you maybe get me this instead? And she showed me it was a Coronation Elsa Funko Pop.
Nice.
I was like, okay, why not? And then my son, seeing his sister had a Funko Pop, said, oh, I want one too. And he found one of the TV version of The Flash, the most recent one, the Grant Gustin one. And I was like, okay, you both, it's the same price. I'll get them both. I'll get them both for you. You can have your own Funko Pops. And so I got Noelle his Flash, and I got Noelle her Coronation Elsa. And then we went to Barnes & Noble like a few days later, and she found, what was the other one? Oh, she found Anna, and she got that. And there was one, and she found Peasant Belle from Disney, so she got that as well. And then yesterday I bought her the Cinderella one from the live-action Cinderella one they did. So, and my son, he's up and down, so he wants maybe eventually to get like a Reverse Flash or a Captain Cold or some of the superheroes. And I personally, I have some also. I've got Coulson, Agent Coulson.
Nice.
I just bought Buffy because I have a huge crush on Sarah Michelle Gellar. And once again, talking about Felicia Day, I bought one of her character, Charlie, from Supernatural. So I have that as well. So it's all kind of a cool thing. And now the tree, here's the funny part is that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. My daughter said she wants to make a video where she talks about her Funko Pops, because she's been watching some stuff on YouTube and she's been seeing some of that. So this morning, we finally sat down and we made a video of her discussing her Funko Pops, and she's absolutely brilliant. And yes, I'm biased. She's my daughter, but was really great. So she did such a good job that I told her, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on YouTube after I do my show, and I'll send it out to let everybody take a look at it. It's like, you know what? We'll call it Noelle Presents, and we'll do a bunch of videos all the time. And you can talk about, critique movies or, your other toys or, food you like. So we're going to make more videos, and she's really excited about it, and I'm excited about it because, hey. So
I love that idea. That's fantastic.
so she said, but the Funko Pops, I love the Funko Pops.
Me
I
too.
absolutely do.
I have a
Yeah,
huge collection.
yeah,
And not like Steve level of huge collection, but but it's getting there. It's pretty awesome. I have started recollecting the My Little Ponies, and my mom found out. She's like, "Damn it! I gave away all your My Little Ponies from when you were a kid. I could have just saved them." I'm like, "No, other kids got a good use out of those, and now I get the Funko ones."
Now, do they have Stargate ones, Brianne, yet?
No, no, they don't. That's a bone of contention in my household because
Oh no!
they make Funkos for everything. They do like everything, and Danny's not as big into the Funko Pops. He likes like Diamond Select bigger figures because he makes custom action figures. So he like really likes the 7-inch, especially ones he can customize. But I like the Funko Pops, so I get them. I've got
And you can customize the Funko Pops.
I
I've seen them on Instagram.
See, that's what I'm telling him, but he's like, no, because they've made this crap show and this crap show and this crap movie, but they haven't made Stargate, and then it's like this whole Funko rant.
We should have got him on. He could rant about that. We'll do that next time.
Well, and I wonder why they haven't.
Well, I mean, it makes no sense,
I wonder
especially
if there's like a rights issue.
Well, you know, they're doing that whole thing where they're making the new movie. They're like rebooting because apparently that original movie, like in '94, was supposed to be a trilogy, and it flopped in the theaters. So they didn't let like the Emmerich make the trilogy. Well, then the rights got picked up by Showtime, and they started the show, and he had nothing to do with it, and he hated the show. He said it wasn't supposed to be fun because it was a fun show. Like it was.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, and that really wasn't the feel of the original movie.
No. And I liked both actually, but
me too. But now that now they're doing a reboot like they did with Star Trek, but apparently they're not gonna they're gonna pretend the show and the original movie never existed.
Oh.
And the guy's really vocal about it. Like it shouldn't have, they took my creative like blah blah away from me. So I think that's might be part of it because it's like we've got the rights, you know.
And that probably is it, actually, because if I can't imagine Funko ignoring a huge fandom like Stargate without, you know, a financial inducement. Like they must not be able to purchase the rights, or you know, like I don't know.
Well, yeah, or maybe someone has the rights already. They just haven't. They're in sort of a limbo-esque type quality. Because I mean, a good example was when we went to Barnes and Noble the other day, and I got Noelle her bell and Anna, we're looking at the display, and there's Breakfast Club ones. It's like, really? They had all the students, and they had the principal. I was like, seriously?
Oh, no, you can. Now I'm afraid. I'm like looking to see if he's come down the hall, because if there's Breakfast Club and not Stargate, he might explode.
And you know what else makes me mad, too? As they don't have a 9 yet for the Doctor Who ones.
Mm.
You know, and that makes me mad. Though I think I want to get the Hot Topic exclusive of Ken with his 3D glasses on. I think I want to check that one out. So
I don't know. I'm particularly fond of my Doctor Who's My Little Pony Doctor Who crossover.
I got that for Dawn also. So yeah, that is a good one too.
Yeah. And I have I really love the Funko Pop minis, like the mystery ones. So I've collected a whole line of the Nightmare Before Christmas ones and most of the My Little Pony ones as well. So I love them. I don't know why the little mystery boxes get me, but they're fantastic. I'm so excited when I open it up and I have to rip open the little black bag and I'm like, woo!
I'm actually glad you brought that up because Noah is in he's a 5-year-old, so his mindset is everywhere. It could be one place here and the next day it's here and here and stuff like that. Well, recently he's been into getting back into Minecraft again, and they have those Minecraft blind boxes also. Yeah. And he bought one of those last week and got a little mini Wither character. And so when we were out shopping yesterday, when I bought Noelle her Cinderella one, he's like, I want to get a couple of the blind boxes for Minecraft. I was like, okay, that's fine. So we bought 2 more for him, and we get out to the van, and he gets into his seat, and I say, okay, go ahead and open one now, because he was excited for it. And I told him, like, look, you may get the wither again, because that's how blind boxes work. You
Yep.
don't know what you're going to get. You might get the same ones over and over again. And he's like, I know, I don't care. I can get an army of wither. So he's always looking on the bright side. So he opens it up, and it's pig zombie. The zombie pig man.
I
And he's like,
love
oh my
those.
god, a zombie pig man! I got a zombie pig man! He's so excited. And he did the same thing. He tore open the box, and there's the gray bag, and he tears the bag. He's like, oh, zombie pig man, yeah! And then the second one was another wither, and he's like, that's okay, I can have an army of wither now. So, so his birthday's coming up at the end of the month, so we'll probably get him some more of those, and maybe a couple of the Funko Pops too.
And
so.
they are fully customizable too. Like I've seen some crazy ones on Instagram where they've like gone way out, but they're also like individually customizable. Like not that you order it a particular way or anything, but that you actually get blank ones and can paint them. Yeah, Steve made me a pair of the two of us actually. He got it's so cool. Like he was doing it all stealth like, right? And at one point he asked me, he's like, so when you picture me, what am I wearing? And I'm like, well, like just randomly, you know? I'm like, okay, well, you have a couple of T-shirts that I really like, and I'm like thinking of, he has this Ms. Marvel T-shirt and or Captain Marvel, sorry, and she's flying, and it's this awesome T-shirt, and he wears it a lot, and so I'm like, I guess there's that one, and then there's this other band T-shirt that you wear that I love, and so he actually like painted his character with like his beard that I love, but he's wearing his Captain Marvel T-shirt. He hand painted all the little things on there so you can see Captain Marvel on this tiny little Funko Pop. It's awesome. Yeah, but he made my eyes big, blue, and shiny. He put like actual sparkle paint.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty fantastic. So.
That's so cool. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it to my YouTube page, Noelle Presents video, and she says, because she's been watching the videos, she says at the end, and go ahead and like my video too. You know, like they say in the videos. So I'm gonna send those out, and I think also because I follow Funko on Twitter, I might send them the link, say, hey, you know, my daughter reviewed some of your Funko Pops, and I'm so proud of her. It was a 10-minute long video, and she did such a great job. It was so
awesome.
cute. So, and then a couple more guilty pleasures I wanted to run past you. Now, Bronwyn, do you have Yankee Candle in Canada?
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Do you guys like Yankee Candles? Because I'm not obsessed with them, but I love Yankee Candle. I don't know what it is. It's just maybe it's because the scents are so interesting, and I think it's the names, because that's the big thing, is when you get the descriptive name like Mountain Stream, Storm Front, you know, or the beach, you know, and it's just, and then you get the smell. It's like, yeah, that really smells pretty good. And I've got my kids; they like it too. There's we go to some of the Yankee Candle places, and you can smell them. So you take the top off and you smell them. So we sit there and we do every single one. It's like, okay, there's a small display at this place called Valley View Farms. It's a greenhouse / one of the biggest Christmas shops in the Eastern Seaboard. It's huge. It's a giant barn that's been transformed into, you know, after Christmas season up till about maybe June, it's just a regular greenhouse stuff. They got trees and plants and stuff like that. But right around June is when they start bringing in their Christmas stuff, and it becomes this giant Christmas extravaganza, and it's brilliant. They have an international Christmas section with international bulbs from Ireland and you know, China, but actually from there, you know, and specific to that region, and you can buy some, maybe not China so much, but just general foreign countries. You get an idea. They've got just gorgeous Christmas stuff, but they have a section of Yankee Candy, not Yankee Candy, Yankee Candle, and it's very small. But we go in there, and they want to smell every single one of them, and then what we do is we say, oh, this smells pretty good, or I don't like the smell of this one, and then, you know, they just go crazy. Like they had like Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, Dylan, if you are wanting to do that and you go in and you smell everything, but you don't want to go nose blind, you should carry a little sachet of coffee grinds, ground coffee, and smell it in between the candles. It's like a palate cleanser for your nose. Okay,
sounds good. So do you guys like those types of candles anyway? I mean, Brianne, Bronwyn?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because at Yankee Candle, my kids know I really like the wine grape smell, and they used to have it was like a Sonoma vineyard, and they got rid of that scent. So now the kids go and they're like, Mom, we're going to find one that smells like wine. They're like, thanks. Tell everybody I'm an alcoholic.
That's amazing. I love it. No, you say that you're a professional sommelier. I love it. That's amazing. I haven't really actually, I think I've seen Yankee candles, but I don't think I've ever actually really gone up and smelled them because smells are kind of a funny thing. Sometimes I have allergic reactions to them. It's really rare, and so I never know what it's going to be. Usually, like anything with fruit or floral is usually okay, but anything that could be musky at all, I'm probably going to have an allergic reaction. So some of those stores I can't even go into. Depends on what they are.
Yeah, which is interesting because they have all that. I mean, they have different levels of smells. They've got the really, really strong ones. They've got the ones that are not so bad. And then they've got just a wide variety. They got like outdoor smells. They've got cooking smells. They've got floral smells. And in general, I like that. I like the idea because we all know that that's not, they didn't basically, grind up a Thanksgiving dinner and that's your candle. No, it's chemicals, and that's what it is that gets the scents and stuff like that. It's sort of similar to what Dawn does at her job, except it's with taste. A lot of the stuff that you taste, the fruit stuff you taste, some of it is actual fruit extracts or whatever, but there's also other chemicals out there that give that little aftertaste that makes it seem like, okay, this tastes like apple or whatever. So it's sort of a similar thing like that. It's just, I just love the idea of Yankee Candle. And before we had kids, we used to buy them a lot, and we used to light them and use it as a candle so the scent would waft through there. But now we with the kids around, we just open the lid and just let it sit there, and you don't really get the smell, but the candles are all different colors, and you get the nice pictures of it and like that, and it just sits there. And if we have like a blackout, maybe then we light them then. But it's just kind of neat. So that's one of my little neat things. I would love to maybe own or work in one of those shops, maybe even part-time. Maybe during Christmas, maybe I'll do that just because it's just a neat idea for me. Do you guys have any other like guilty type pleasures you want to discuss?
I know. I've been thinking. You're like guilty pleasure. Like, what do I indulge in besides margaritas?
I've been playing Diablo like it's going out of style. So that's probably, playing Diablo itself is not a guilty pleasure because it's not something you should feel guilty about because it's awesome. But I've never been able to play video games. Like, it's kind of been a thing that I love watching my friends play video games, but I have some sort of block between my brain and my hands when it comes to having to move a character around a space. And so I've always been very, very bad at video games, to the point where it's like an amusing thing that my friends will sit me in front of a console from time to time or a computer game from time to time just to get a kick out of how bad I am, right? But it really is. I broke my friend's husband. Like, he put me in front of the Wii because he's like, okay, Wii is foolproof. You can do this. And no. I can draw things, but you put a Wiimote in my hand and I look like I'm having a seizure, But I, for some reason, have connected on every level with Diablo. I can play this game. I'm actually good at it. I'm looking at a platinum trophy for this game. I'm like 3 achievements away. I play it constantly. But so that's, I think, the level where it gets to guilty pleasure because I play it absurdly, like every day.
I guess. Oh God. Okay. So, do you guys know what Shopkick is?
No. What is it?
All right. It's an app on your phone when you don't have a temper tantrum and break your phone and go without it for a week. Anyway.
There's a story in there, but
there is definitely a story in there. Don't go over that one.
It's an app, and you get points, and you accumulate points, and when you hit a certain level of points, you get gift cards.
Cool.
And I love getting me some free things.
Yeah.
So, but you can get points for buying stuff, but you can also get points for just walking in a store or scanning. So wow. I will make up an excuse to like go to the mall when I don't need anything.
Danger, Will Robinson.
And I'll walk in and out of stores just to get the points, and it's really loud on your phone. So I'll just go in like Arrow, Post Out, which I would never shop in because I am an old big girl. I walk in, and it goes, "Bing! Welcome to Aeropostale. You have 35 shop kicks," and then I just leave. And I obsessively track the points. So,
oh my god, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Because you're right, I would never go in Aeropostale either. No, I'm too old for that. Like, way too old for that.
Well, I made Danny the other week. We were at the grocery store, and it was right next door to Target, and Target had 150 walk-in kicks.
Ah!
I said, pull the car up to Target. I gotta run in. He's like, we just went to the grocery store. And I was like, don't judge me. And I got on the car and just went to the entrance and got the shop cakes and walked right at the exit.
Don't judge me. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, if we're talking, this is not so much guilty pleasures, but if we're talking about those little things, where you probably shouldn't admit in public, I will give you one of them.
Okay, absolutely. Let it go.
So I have an obsession with Diet Coke, which we've already discussed on Guilty Pleasures. And right now, I don't know if you guys have this, but for me, we have dollar drink days all summer. So any size of soft drink from McDonald's is $1, and medium iced coffees are $1, and like the smoothies and frappes and stuff like that are $2. So my colleagues and I, we pretty much 4 out of 5 work days will have a giant Diet Coke in the morning. Somebody will come in with 3 of them for the top of us, and we have our Diet Cokes. So there was one day we didn't have it in the morning, and so I was going to go out at noon to get us our Diet Cokes because we were all getting twitchy, and so one of my other colleagues came with me because all the other staff, our office is small, there's only 9 of us, and so everybody kind of wanted something, so I needed somebody else to help me carry. So I had her in the car, and it was a hot day, we had the windows down, and it's one of those McDonald's where you have the 2 drive-through lanes.
Oh,
and, yeah. So like, we pulled up in the shorter lane, because that's what you do, and you wait to do your order, and somebody pulled up to the other with a farther one, and I started to pull forward after I had ordered, but it couldn't go any further because there was a car blocking the exit. But this is right where you merge the 2 lanes, and the car who had just ordered after me, but in the other lane, started to pull forward as if they were going to take that spot and go ahead of me in the line. And normally I'm a pretty easygoing person, like I'm like, oh yeah, chill, whatever, and I tend to be pretty, like, on purpose, not judgmental, because I figure if you aren't hurting folk, it's your business, Go to, whatever makes you happy. Gets you through the day, go nuts, I don't care. But you get in between me and my Diet Coke when I haven't had one, I'm just saying, all bets are off. So it's like autonomic. I didn't even think. I just like pulled my tiny little Yaris forward. So I was like this close to the car in front of me, and I actually turned to this, and it didn't even occur to me that the windows were open and that he would actually hear me, but he was this like grizzled old gentleman with this giant long beard, and I was like, not today, Duck Dynasty. And then I was like, oh God, I'm a terrible person. What just happened? But my friend is with me in the car, and she's like peeing herself. She's laughing so hard. So now periodically she'll turn to me when I ask her for something or do this. She'll be like, not today, Duck Dynasty.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm going to say that to somebody now.
No, I'm going to get you for Christmas now. I'm going to get you a nice 12-pack of Diet Coke. Maybe a little refrigerator. There you go. Keep it in your car.
Right? I should get sponsorship for this. Like, I don't like pop. Or I guess, I don't know, do you guys call it pop or you call it soda?
The Midwest, a lot of people in the Midwest call it pop. South, do you call it pop, Brianne?
I call it soda, and everything's Coke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Whoa. That's some like suspicious level branding there. But no, I don't like pop. I only like Diet Coke. Like Steve,
Me too.
he indulges me. So he actually got me this, which I don't know if you can actually see. It's a puzzle. It's a 3D
Oh,
puzzle
okay.
of Diet Coke.
That's really cool. Yeah, we'll have to start looking into sponsorship because I can do my Bing like I always do.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, I'm still waiting for my Easter chocolate and Bing cherry juice.
Me too. I check the mailbox.
Every day. All right, maybe with my newfound newfound epiphanies, maybe I'll start making it up to you guys. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, geez, that's great. I just got one more because we had already talked about it. This new kid, Leon Bridges, he's a new singer. I played his song "Smooth Sailing." Did you guys like the beginning bits that you could hear? Or did you hear it?
Yeah, it sounded lovely.
Now, it was funny how this came about. Dawn and Noelle were getting their nails done yesterday down at Dawn's folks' house outside D.C. So Noah and I were out doing we went to see my mom. He loves his grandmother, and we did some other stuff as well. Went to Barnes & Noble for Funko Pops, obviously. So, but normally Noelle's the one who likes to listen to the radio, and Dawn does too somewhat. But Dawn, she puts on 106.5, which is our contemporary pop music station, because she always tells me that this is the music that the kids are growing up to. Like for us, it was 80s music. So her folks always, they might not have liked the 80s music, but they played it because it was the music for our generation, basically. So Dawn, being a good mom as she is, she says, okay, I'll play this music even though I might not like a lot of it, because this is their music and this is what the kids talk about at school and camp and stuff like that.
Which is lovely.
Yeah, which is good. And then the thing is, Dawn starts liking a lot of it also. So. But there's some of it I like, but there's just a lot of contemporary music nowadays just is terrible. It is awful. I just do not like it. Maybe because I'm an old fart, I don't know. But
Kids these days.
get off my lawn. Which I've done before. I've said to myself, I've never actually gone out there and said to kids, say, hey, get off my lawn, but I said to myself, it's like, get out of my yard, or watch out, don't throw your football near my car. But so I'm not a big fan of a lot of the contemporary music that's out there. But Noah wanted to listen to the radio yesterday, so I turned on the 106.5, and he's singing along to "Bad Blood" by Taylor Swift, and "Shut Up and Dance" is another one that he likes to sing along to. And it's so cute hearing them sing the songs. Then the announcer comes on and says, yeah, here's a new song, Coming Home, by new artist Leon Bridges. It's like, okay. And then it starts off as this old style 1950s 60s R&B. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, but I kept thinking to myself, and then it starts off cool, and then it's going to go off into his dubstep or whatever you want to call it, crazy 21st century type music. It's just going to be, he was just sampling that bit, and then it's going to go off crazy, and then he starts singing. It's like, holy cow, he belongs in the 1950s and 60s, because he's got that Al Green type of style of voice to him. And so I listened to it because it actually caught my attention while I'm driving. I'm listening to it, and I really liked it. My son's like, yeah, I like this song also. So I was like, that's cool. So then this morning, I was just looking through some music that I was going to try to do to start the show today, and I was like, hey, let me listen to it again, see if I still like it, and I did. And then on YouTube, they have all of his other videos that he's done also. So I found a couple other ones. Like, man, this kid is good. And the main reason why I like him is, yeah, it's a throwback to the old style, but it's a refreshing take on music, because nowadays it's all about rap, R&B, not really R&B, I should say rap, and what's the, I don't know. It's not my type of music, and it's very, yeah, it makes me want to tear my eyes out or my ears. But then this guy comes in, and he's fairly popular because his main song that was the one that was played on the radio has over 2 million hits, and that's pretty good for for YouTube. And then I looked at some of his other videos, and they're like in the 100,000s. It's like, okay, this guy has got some fans out there, and it's an old style type of 1950s, 60s style music. So
Dylan, Steve says if you like Leon Bridges, who he agrees totally rules, you should definitely check out Alabama Shakes. You're going to love it.
Alabama shakes. Okay, I'll write that down on my my book here, Alabama. Thanks, Steve. I will definitely do that then. So it's not really guilty pleasure, but just the fact that I found this artist and he's a breath of fresh air in a sea of crap, as it were. I think that's about it. Brianne, do you have anything else?
Oh, no, unless y'all want to hear my phone story.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I do. I
Yes,
do.
I do.
I was going to say, yeah. No, tell us about the time where you broke your phone.
God, I really actually wish my camera was working because I kept the phone. I decimated it in such a way that it will be a reminder to me for the rest of my life. It's that bad.
That is amazing.
No, I was on the phone with the car dealership because my Beetle's been doing some little funky things in the electrical system lately, and local mechanic couldn't figure it out, dealership couldn't figure it out, and they wanted to go on like a $1,300 fishing expedition. And I'm on the phone. I was actually trying to get a hold of Danny or my mom to be like, okay, I think they're giving me the runaround. This is what they've been able to tell me. And I'm trying to have a conversation. And Sprint service has gotten so bad lately. And it's gotten progressively worse over the past 2 or 3 years. But I'm just trying to explain what's happening. And all I hear on the one on my cell phone is Danny can't hear anything that I'm saying. I have my mom on the house phone on speaker, and she can hear me just fine. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm stationary. So about the third time, he was like, baby, I can't hear you. What's wrong with your car? Is it broken? I was like, Sprint, I hate you. And I threw my phone across the kitchen. I'm like trying to have a conversation because I have to call the mechanic back and tell them whether or not I'm working. And I started crying, and my son comes down, and he's like, oh, Mom, don't look at your phone because you're going to cry really hard now.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
That
is amazing. Tell me you've switched carriers, at least.
I did. I'm waiting for my AT&T phone to arrive in the mail. I'm done. I was like, that was the last straw.
Oh, dear.
So I can't shop kick, and it's really hurting.
Oh, no.
I have to shop kick.
Is there any point in even leaving the house if you can't shop kick?
No, there's no point.
Right? Like, that's me with my Fitbit. My Fitbit battery died, and my charger was lost in the mail. It has since been replaced. Yay. But it's like I can't even motivate myself to move because if your steps aren't counting on Fitbit, they don't, like, are they even real? Like, is anything? It's very existential crisis over here.
It's beautiful. I totally get it.
Now, unfortunately, part of the Global Corporate Challenge right now with my team from work, so I do have a step counter, and I am putting the steps in online, but it's not the same.
No. It's like I can go to any store in the world, but if I'm not getting gift certificate points for it, no.
What's the point? Like, there's no point to anything ever.
And if you guys want to join Shopkick, don't you join until I get my phone back so I can invite you and get the points for you joining.
No, let's back up.
That's fair, but you have to join my Fitbit family.
What kind of gift cards do you get for free?
Well, okay, so I'm crazy and I haven't cashed in yet because I want to see like if I can max out. I want them to shut me off. But it's about every 1,500 to 2,000 kicks or like points is a $10 gift card.
For what? For just in general, or?
You get to pick the stores, so I'm trying to get all the kids back to school clothes for free. That's my goal.
Okay.
Nice.
That's interesting. Okay, that's very cool. That might be something to consider.
Don't you dare. If you do it out.
I will wait, yes, I will wait.
You'll expect to see our invites shortly.
As soon as my brand new pink phone arrives, I will send you.
Pink, love it.
Pink.
I went with gold.
Blue.
But
just because it looked good. It was blue and yellow, and then the other ones they had was like a brown gray one. I was like, really?
this is
Ooh,
my phone case, though, the Cheshire Cat.
I like it. Very
It's pink, but I'm just gonna cover it up with Daniel Jackson. So that'll be a bad bother.
Right? I know. My phone is gold, but I have it wrapped up in a cover, too, so what are you going to do?
Absolutely. Okay, that was a great story. Great story. So let's see what's going on. Anything else? Let me see. No, I think I about hit everything that I was thinking about. So I think we shall wrap up this episode of Dylan Knows. As I said, it will be my final one until mid-August. I'll be on a 2-week hiatus, so you have to live without me, gang. Sorry. But then I don't know. I don't know quite who's going to come back or what episode I'm going to do yet. So I gotta think about that. But I'll wait till I get back from vacation to start thinking about what episode will be on. Let me see, that'll probably be like the 17th or something like that. So, but Bronwyn and I and maybe Brianne, we'll see. She'll be back sometime in August, and I'll be in touch. Bronwyn, we can work out issues. I think there's 5 Sundays in August, so we might be able to shuffle some stuff around. So we'll see. I am running fast forward to my 100th episode, so here's hoping that my plan comes to fruition. So I'm going to start working on that and do some other stuff. And as I said, I got some other ideas percolating. Keep your eye out for the first episode of Noelle Presents. I'm very proud of it, proud daddy, and it's adorable. So, and you even get a bonus Jinx the cat. The way I was filming it was landscape style like this, and Jinx is off to the side, just curled up in there while Noelle's talking.
Awesome.
So you see my cat just chilling there. So
Well, cute cat videos always do well on YouTube.
they always do. So on that note, I want to thank Brianne. Thanks for hanging with us again.
Thanks, I missed you guys.
We miss you too.
And
I miss life.
oh, that's right. Yeah, you're going to start getting back into it in August. We may not be able to see you again till the new year, maybe. No, we'll get you in. We'll work around your schedule. We'll get you back in sometime. Especially for our anticipated October episode, which we're not going to talk about just now. We were anticipating it last October, but it didn't quite work out. But we have an idea for a good one coming up, and I got to talk to official pagan also, Mr. Mike, and see if he's up for it too.
Yeah.
Bronwyn, thank you for coming back. It was great. Check us all out. Bronwyn's Bring Out Your Geek occasionally every once in a while, and Brianne will be becoming a doctor soon. So.
So exciting.
So on that note, everybody, you have a pleasant Sunday, and I will see you sometime in mid-August. And enjoy your time. All right, and rest of your summer. See you later. Bye.